Welcome back to the Robinson Replay. It's your favorite father-son sports podcast. What's up, Dad?
What's up?
How's it going?
It's going.
Is springtime officially here? Weather is turning. You can feel it, right?
I hope so, because my bones need some warm weather. No more cold stuff. I'm good for it for this year. I love winter, but it's time to turn the page.
Turning the page, and you know, with spring has to come some baseball here. Some baseball obviously coming up. We have opening night as we are speaking right now, right? The first game is on right now is the Yankees and the Giants, I believe, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep, Yankees and the Giants, and then Thursday, full slate of baseball here.
Yes.
Getting into it. Spring training is done. Back to the regular season here. Yankees are up 7-0 in the top of the sixth, having a tear against the San Francisco Giants there.
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, well, baseball is a long season. 162 games or 52 games? 62, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a long season, boy. And let me tell you, 162, it takes a long time till the end of September before we decide who's in the playoffs. But I'll tell you what, looking at the games, I'm excited because, of course, like you said, baseball means springtime, means warmer weather, which means being able to go out to the park, go down to my local Mud Hens and catch a game.
Woo.
That's the old Tigers affiliate. Go down and see the
world famous
Mud Henners. And then, of course, try to go up, maybe see a Tigers game here or there, go to Cleveland, see a Guardians game. So it's always nice to get out.
And come down to Cincy to see a Reds game.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Reds, a lot of the people are talking very highly about the Reds. Matter of fact, some prognosticators have them in the NL championship game before the World Series.
Wow.
Yes. Huh. They have them against the Dodgers in the NL championship game. Wow. I was shocked when I saw some of these things today. They are really liking the young squad.
They do have a young squad, yeah.
They think their pitching is really going to come back with Green as their leading starting pitcher. And they really think the young bats are going to come to life here. And a lot of people are talking about it. I was surprised when I was doing some research on the season here, how they are really high on the Reds. I know looking at your standings here, it says they're going to be fourth, but
yeah, this is just some random predictions I saw on Twitter from @BaseballWorld here. So, whatever he thought prediction series would be. Yeah. I was hearing some good things about the Reds too. I mean, they have, I think, a pretty good young squad. I hope they do well. It's always great to be in the Cincinnati area here and biking and walking around and seeing games going on weekdays, weekends. Very lively down at Great American Ballpark there.
Yeah, man, Fritz, hook us up with some tickets, buddy.
Yeah, Fritzy.
Come on, man, you can do it.
Yeah, would love to see the Reds doing good.
Yes.
De La Cruz hitting some dingers out there.
Yes. I do love their ballpark. They need to work on their concessions still. I like the ballpark though.
Yeah.
I tell you the Guardians have one of the top concessions. They have such a great variety there, and they have not that I'm a huge, IPA beer guy snob, but they have so many different beers at the Guardians games that it's a huge hit. They have that standing room only in the right right
they've
corner.
Done some great renovations to the stadium, yeah.
And it's really looking nice. So I'm really forward to going to see some of these games. Now,
just ballparks are just the best in the summer. Man.
And when I look at this, I tell you what, I've done a little research. Obviously, you got your high market teams. You got your Yankees, your Mets. You got your Cubs, your Tigers, your Mariners, and the Dodgers, of course, are just ridiculous. But unfortunately, teams like my Guardians then sit back and do absolutely nothing this year. They did more than nothing this year than the nothing they normally do.
Yeah.
And it's sort of disheartening to us as a small market team when they put out. I understand they want to get their farm guys up, but let's be just more competitive. Let's actually seem like we want to invest in the team and the city.
Yeah.
And some of these small market teams like the Guardians, it's sad. It's like the season's just starting and we know that they probably don't have a chance to win it.
Yeah.
Just like the Rockies and, Washington Nationals and Tampa Bay and, these teams don't have a chance already
Yeah.
because
I
they
mean,
didn't even really
Cleveland.
invest in their team.
Yeah, Cleveland's a 28th ranked team as far as spent is 97 million is what I'm seeing here in tax payroll, whereas the top, obviously, Dodgers, Mets, Yankees. Dodgers at the top at almost $400 million tax payroll.
That's unreasonable. I mean, it's unfathomable, really. It's sad.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. 4 times the spend of the Guardians at all the way at the bottom there.
Jesus. Oh my gosh, that's just ludicrous. So unfortunately, when you do this system, they do.
Yeah.
It affects. Tell you what, though, the Tigers I think could be a dark horse in this. They shored up their starting pitching. They got a couple of good new starters. I like their starting rotation, very good. When you get them into a series, like you get into the playoffs, you get in one of those short series. They have the arms now to really do well. With them, if they just get good, consistent hitting, they'll do well. And I believe it's going to be a 2-horse pony or two-horse pony, something like that. Pony, something along those lines. Detroit and Seattle are my favorites in the AL.
Mm-hmm.
In the NL, it's going to be the Dodgers, Cubs, and Mets. Those 3, and then they'll fight it out one way or the other. But those are the 3 that I think have a shot in the NL. And when it all comes down to the NL, I think it's going to be the Dodgers and the Mariners. I just think the Mariners are going to win. I think the Mariners are going to pull it out.
Win, really?
I'm calling the Mariners this year.
Why the Mariners?
I don't know. Dodgers have won a couple times now.
Yeah.
And, it's hard to win. Even if you got all this talent, they're getting a little older in the tooth there. In LA, they did get Turner this year. They did get a good pickup, but I just think it's Seattle's time to win it all. They have a nice lineup. They got good pitching. I just think they're a good, well-rounded team. So I'm gonna go Seattle to take it, but we'll see. Like I said, any of those teams I named definitely have a shot at it. What do you think, Luke?
What do you think about the MLB having potentially? I know next year there's potentially going to be a lockout. Is the talk there? And renegotiations about the salary and everything. I've heard a lot of different opinions and videos on potentially having a salary cap and a salary floor itself. So the teams that are spending nothing,
the Guardians are spending
like
$79 million and the Dodgers are spending $400. You mean that discrepancy?
Exactly.
See, that just shows me that they're not really interested in their team when you can't spend more than $79 million on a team.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, the Guardians aren't selling out every game. They have a decent attendance, not great. But the thing is, obviously, we know in Cleveland when they were good, if you build a winner, the people will come. They had, I believe it was 65 consecutive sellouts at one point. So I don't want to hear this logic that, it's just the fans aren't there, whatever. You need to invest in the team to make it a competitive team in order for people to want to come out and see your product. But, with different things like, football has their mega deal with the TV thing.
Yeah.
And obviously they need to. Baseball has their TV deals. It's all over the place. Every year it changes.
Every market, right?
Every year it changes, and it's not like the NFL deal. They need to somehow, obviously, the problem is with baseball is it's just not as popular,
I mean, they had great ratings last year, I thought, and I think
Yeah,
it's gaining some popularity here. I
yeah,
think they'll roll off of the World Baseball Classic as well. I think
yeah.
it's
You're right. You're right.
mm,
But I just think they do need to come up with some kind of salary structure,
yeah, I agree.
some kind of limitations that you can't go over 400 million. You can't spend just 79. Something you got to find some kind of middle ground that at least everybody's sort of on the same playing field.
Yeah,
Because if not, it's not even worth even going out in the ball field sometimes. But of course, we all show up and want to have a beer and watch the game anyways. But I'm just saying it would be nice if they would, actually show a little bit about product.
yeah. America's pastime. If I had to pick right now championship, I'd say the Dodgers and the Tigers would be
Okay,
my
yeah,
pick there.
definitely.
So yeah,
I think
that's
definitely
my early
they
season
definitely have a
prediction.
chance there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep,
Yeah, got Scooble there on the mound. Got the greatest player of all time on the Dodgers with Otani. I mean, yeah,
that'd be
that's
great.
100%. So we'll be
That'd be the WBC game that was supposed to happen, Americans versus Japan, and it never happened because they didn't make it there, and United States didn't show up in the championship. So
Mhm. Yeah, yeah. We'll be following baseball as the season progresses here a bit more as basketball is coming to an end. Football off season coming to a little cooling point here after the draft comes along here, and so yeah, excited to get into some baseball as the season progresses. How about you?
definitely,
Yeah.
I'll definitely have to start doing some more research and getting into it a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more here as we go along.
Yeah. 100%. All right. Next here, we do have some basketball. We had a pick last week, Timberwolves at Celtics. We both picked the Celtics, and Minnesota took the dub
I
here.
tell you what, man, I have the worst NBA picker right now that
You're
possible.
like 0 for
I always
6
tell
in the past
I've been
6.
telling you, just pick the opposite of what I'm picking for the NBA because it's not good. I'm gonna tell you, I don't know what the deal is. I mean, the Celtics were at home. I don't know how they lost that game. They were doing really well the first half. I watched a little bit of it, and all of a sudden in the
Mm-hmm.
second half, Timberwolves just turned it on, and it was over. I'm like, my goodness, I think they beat them by over 10.
It was 102 to 92, Minnesota winning.
Yeah, well, 10,
Um,
10 points. Look at that.
yeah,
Right in the nose. Yeah, I'm like,
high scorer on Minnesota was Bones Highland with 23 points. Uh,
Bones Highland.
whoever that is, you know who that is?
I've heard of him. I know he
Really?
is, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, who? Bones Highland.
Jalen Brown had 29 points, still having a tremendous season there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that game. I could not believe it. They were doing so well in the first half.
hmm
Uh,
Yeah.
oh well.
Well, we got no NBA picks this week necessarily, but
It's
we
probably not
are
a bad.
really
It's probably not a bad thing.
yeah, no, it's not. And as we are seeing here, kind of the games are meaning a little bit less and less to a lot of these teams. Either you made it already, or you're already tanking, like half the league is potentially. Some teams still fighting for those different playoff spots there, but I mean, essentially the West is set. It's set right there, right? The
Yeah,
PS is
because
clinched postseason.
there's no way the Pelicans are coming back up there. I don't see. There's less than 10 games left now. I believe there's only maybe 9 games left. I think.
Yeah, the East is a little bit more open there with some potential teams moving around, but I mean, it's basically it is what it is right now with what you're seeing essentially.
Yeah. But yeah, the Celtics, by the way, came back and won and beat OKC tonight, 119 to 109. See,
Hmm.
it's they look like juggernauts one night, next night, and it's like these teams are up and down constantly. I've noticed. I know that a lot of these teams are just ready for the playoffs to begin.
Yeah.
They're sick of beating up on each other during the regular season, and they just want some playoff basketball. But I tell you what, when I've been watching a lot of games lately, the scores are outrageous. First of all, there's no defense. Okay, like for instance, tonight, the one game, Sixers 157, Bulls 137. What the heck? I mean, my God, talk about no defense. I mean, some of these games, and not only that, but the teams that are winning, they're winning by 20, 30, sometimes almost 35 points. It's like they're not even games. So I think it's to the point now that they're ready for this season to end.
Yeah.
Let's cut the bottom feeders on the both sides of the Western and Eastern Conference, and let's start really playing some basketball, because right now a lot of these games are not very good in the way of basketball.
Yeah, no, I'm not really paying attention to anything NBA right now. That's why I didn't even want to pick any game this week, because players sitting or players not caring, teams not caring, whatever. Here, playoffs right around the corner. Playoffs is what matters here. Super excited for the series that we're going to be seeing, from the play-in games to the real deal playoffs there.
Yeah.
We do have some announcement for the NBA. NBA teams just had a meeting and officially approved the Seattle team and the Las Vegas team for open bidders. So it's a open market now.
It's going to be between $7 to $10 billion.
Yep. So,
matter of fact, I was just talking to a guy at work today about this.
Yeah.
And talking about how they're going to go about it. I'm sure they have their regimen. Of course, they're going to probably, give them certain draft picks.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to have to be able to only protect so many players on your team.
Yeah.
All these different things of how they're going to implement these teams. And I'm sure they're going to waive money at these new teams are going to waive money at free agents and stuff. Hey, you could be the first person on the Las Vegas Aces. That's the women's team. But
yeah.
Anyways, the men's team, whatever they are, the Las Vegas Gamblers, whatever. You could take us to the promised land, and we're going to give you $200 million and da-da-da, So,
yeah.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of incentives with it. It just, for me, it concerns me, like I've said earlier here, that when I see all this diluted basketball, and then I see all these blowouts, and I see all these teams that are just... Oh, I mean, look at the one side here. Indiana, Washington, and Brooklyn. Oh my goodness! And even the commissioner came out also today about the tanking thing. He supposedly says we have some things on the table to prevent this tanking thing from happening anymore. So I'm interested to see how that's going to happen, because I'll tell you what, these teams are really going for the tank over here in the bottom feeders. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking for some good bet. I tell you who's on a heater right now. Lakers, big time heater. They are kicking butt. They won again tonight. The Heat, they
against
beat
Indiana.
The Cavs.
Not saying that much.
Well, I know, but they've been on a heater though. They've been doing well. They've been beating who's on the schedule. I think they've won 7 or 8 in a row. I think it's 8. The Heat they're doing really well. I tell you what, those are the two teams I don't want to play. The Heat and Hornets. They have been coming on strong, real strong. Even the Hawks. Hawks had a great game tonight. They came back and won in overtime against Detroit. Another good game. So there's a lot of these teams that are middle of the road are starting to play really good ball, especially in the Eastern Conference. All the play-in tournament teams in the Western Conference, I don't think any of them have even a stone's throw chance.
No,
not even a chance. So, but I'm really interested to hear, see what happens next.
Yeah. Yep. Me too. Here, right around the corner here with the playoffs and
playoffs.
But before we get into some more basketball with the Sweet 16 coming up, stay tuned towards the end here. We have some NFL offseason here. We have now the highest paid wide receiver of all time. 4 years, $168.6 million, $42.15 million per year. The highest paid wide receiver based on average salary there. JSN right behind him. You got Jamar Chase, JJ, CeeDee Lamb, and DK Metcalf. Were you expecting this here with JSN resetting the market for wide receivers?
I thought he would definitely be up there. I didn't think he was going to overtake Chase. I think they're definitely 1A, 1B. I think they're definitely great players. Obviously,
Offensive
he
player of the
was the offensive
year.
player of the. I was just gonna say that he was the offensive player of the
Yep.
year. What he hit a home run. He had perfect timing to have the
Yeah.
greatest year that he had, and
Cashed in.
going into this, he cashed in big time. Big time cash in for him. More power to him. I'm happy for him. Of course, at the OHIO.
They're gonna say that, yeah.
You got it, buddy. That's right. Wide receiver you. We
Yeah.
pay
Yeah.
all of our guys are getting paid. We got so many guys in the league now from Ohio State. Gotta love it. And
It's gonna be like
Smith
half of
and
the
Jen,
first round.
I tell you what, they're talking now 4 to 5 Ohio State players in the first round if McDonald gets picked in the back end of the first.
Yeah.
So I tell you what, they had their pro day today. Carnell Tate out there running routes, getting balls chucked to him. So by another future draft pick saying, he was out there chucking them, getting ready for next year to show off his arm. And I tell you what, a lot of people are really starting to get on the Carnell Tate wagon. A lot of the top 10 teams are setting up individual meetings with him. So I tell you, wide receiver U is looking good.
JSN, huge deal there. I mean, I was expecting obviously offensive player of the year. And then, every year these players are just getting more and more money. So
it's crazy.
Only expect it to break new records every single year if you're going to be the top of the top there, no doubt.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'm interested to see what happens with the next big wide receiver, who and what that may be, and what kind of money they're going to get.
It'll be big, whatever it is, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, we did have a interesting kind of a football event happen. Been seeing a lot of clips floating around the internet. Team USA and the Wildcats and the Founders. This was supposed to be played in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, didn't happen and was moved to the United States because of the war and whatnot there. But still had Tom Brady out there. Paid millions of dollars to go out there and play flag football.
What's funny is that when you first sent this to me and I looked at it, I didn't realize that was Tom Brady. I didn't even realize it. He looked different to me. And I don't know whether it was
the shades.
The shades, or whether it was the grayish beardish color kind of thing. I was like, who's this old dude he's sending to me? And then I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's Brady. I couldn't believe it. And then I know this other guy is a big flag football guy that's really good, and he's the one that's been coming out talking, saying that the NFL players should just stick to the NFL football, and we're going to just stick to our flag football, and we want to be in the Olympics, and you guys should just keep doing what you're doing. So, like we talked about earlier, I think it's going to set up a real interesting battle of who really should be playing in this Olympic sport now that it's coming to LA.
Yep.
In 2028. So I'm interested to see who actually is going to end up playing, because obviously it's going to be in the summer and the football players are off then.
Yeah, they could play for sure.
And they could play. So I'm interested to see how this is all going to work itself out. You said you had some information about the game that seemed like these flag footballers know what they're doing, though.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of clips and saw some videos of basically a breakdown of Sean Payton saying how there's a lot of high level NFL coaches involved in this as well, and Sean Payton kind of preparing against the Team USA, and he was like, wow, like this is really, really different than NFL football. I mean, it's a different kind of a talent, different kind of schemes, different kind of plays and everything, whereas the Team USA flag football team, this is their game. This is their sport now. A lot of them obviously are ex-college, maybe even, semi-pro type tackle football players that then have transitioned into the flag football field. But there's certain moves and schemes that the flag football players really specialize in that the NFL football players don't. And there's some obvious videos out there, and maybe I'll show a clip right here. Is basically there's moves that the flag football players can do to basically dodge and have the defense not grab their flag there, and it just looks like insane that you would never see an NFL player doing any kind of move like that, but that's just what works with the flag football there. So
right.
Even though obviously there was some amazing catches and plays from the NFL players out there, just incredibly talented there, it's a different kind of a skill set that I think the NFL players really have to dedicate themselves towards. Obviously, they could if they really wanted to and dedicate the time. They probably could for sure, especially a lot of these skill position players. But I think the flag football team should probably stay intact as much as possible out there as is.
Okay. Well, we'll
Yeah.
see what happens. I mean,
yeah, we'll see.
It's another 2 years from this summer, right?
Yep,
So,
2 years.
yeah, I mean,
yeah, I know. Joey Burrow has said that he would love to play for Team USA. He was out there, playing there, and he was slinging it. I know some Bengals fans I was talking to are a little worried. I mean, obviously he came back the end of last season, but he was making some pretty hard cuts. It's just they were going pretty hard out there. Obviously they got paid a lot of money to go out there and play this by fanatics and the Saudis, I still think. But yeah, they definitely showed out and tried hard for this. I mean, this was a lot harder than a Pro Bowl game. This was not no Pro Bowl game.
right.
This was yeah.
This was in Cupcake City.
Yeah. Yeah, they were trying out there for sure. So I think there may be a few players that could squeak on the team, but this gentleman on the left here, I forget his name. Incredible. It's a different sport. It really is.
All right, we'll see what happens.
We'll see. All right. Next here, we have the brackets looking over the first and second round of 64 and 32. I completely smoked you on the bracket here. I did pretty good. I have a 97% accuracy, 510 points on the tournament challenge on ESPN. I'm ranked 131,602 rank, so under a million, just pretty good there. Whereas you were pretty booty cheeks.
Yeah, it was not good. Yeah.
What surprised you about these first rounds here?
Well, the big one for me was the Kentucky win. That was huge when they hit the buzzer beater near the end of the game to tie it.
Yep.
It went to overtime.
What a game.
That should have never happened. I blame a lot of that in coaching, to be honest with you. I know that the Santa Clara coach tried to get a timeout. Referee didn't see him. I would have been over there doing jumping jacks, throwing stuff at people, whatever it needed to do in order to make sure that they would have got that timeout. They should have fouled so they didn't get that 3-pointer off. There's no way in heck that should have ever happened. So that was one of the biggest things for me personally in the first 2 rounds there, in the round of 64 and 32. But I'll tell you what, though, my Florida going down sort of hurt me. I had Florida going in there to the Final Four? No,
yeah, to the Final Four.
Did I have them in the Final Four? No, I did not.
Yeah, I think I have the brackets mixed up here, actually.
Oh, okay.
Now thinking about it, I'm like, wait a second, this is wrong. Yeah,
yeah, I thought it was wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like.
Yeah, I was looking over for a second. I was like, I swear I picked Wright State as an upset, and now it's right. There we go.
All right, okay, all right. Yeah, because when I was looking, I was like, I thought I'd pick Florida in the Final Four. That's what I was saying. That so that killed my bracket there by Florida getting knocked out of the Final Four.
Yeah,
but I still do have Duke, Arizona, Iowa State still hanging around. Well, we'll see what happens with that. I was hoping for a little bit more from, and Alabama has done really well. I'll tell you, Alabama's going to give Michigan a good game.
I had Alabama beating Michigan, so if that really panned out for me there, that would be huge.
Yeah, that would That would have been really nice for you if you would have been. Too bad you didn't actually put this in a real poll.
Yeah, I should
Besides
really put some
us
money on
just
it
playing,
here.
yeah, you
Yeah.
should have
Oh
actually
well.
entered Patrick's bracket, but you didn't.
Mhm. Yep. Oh well. But we
Yeah,
both had
well,
a.
I tell you, the big thing
Mhm.
for me here is when you look at this, we got 6 teams, 6 Big Ten teams in the final 16.
Mm,
That's pretty impressive, I think, right there when you're looking at all
yeah.
that. And of course, 2 Big Ten teams are playing each other the first Sweet 16 game here. So that'll be interesting between Nebraska and Iowa. So 2 neighboring states there in the Big Ten going at it for a third time this year. So, what did you have? Anything that stuck out to you, Luke, in the first couple rounds?
Yeah, I was thinking here looking, we both had VCU winning against North Carolina, which they did pull that one
Mm-hmm.
off there.
Yes.
Obviously, you were talking about the Kentucky Santa Clara game. That was probably the craziest game. Had
Mm-hmm.
the back to back kind of buzzer beaters, and then went into
Yes.
overtime, and Kentucky won that there. I was watching that end of the Duke game. I know it was kind of scary there against Siena, against the
They
16 seed. It was way
I
too
told
close.
oh, yeah, way too I told you they're gonna struggle. They're gonna
Yeah.
struggle.
And
They
then
are
they
in the
dominated
struggle
TCU.
bus. What's that?
And then they dominated TCU in the next game though.
And they
So
didn't dominate them. That was
81 to
too
58.
that
No,
game was
it
did
was
you watch
closer
the
than
game?
the score. No, I didn't.
Oh,
No.
yeah, the game was very
Yeah.
close at halftime.
Okay.
Very close at halftime. They opened it up in the second half, but
Hmm.
I tell you what, without their point guard, the point guard, regular season point guard, they just don't look right. They're just not deep enough. I love them, don't get me wrong, and I want them to win it all. I just don't think they could do it. I don't think they
Hmm.
have enough depth.
Yeah.
They
I
rely
mean,
too heavily on one person, on Cam
Duke
Boozer.
St. John's. Obviously, a lot of great games in the Sweet 16, but Duke
Oh
St.
yeah,
John's is one that I'm really looking forward to
Friday
seeing.
7:15.
Mm,
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. Obviously,
So
St. John's really
those
good
are
squad.
that was my
Patino.
a big thing here.
Hmm.
I watched a little bit, at least a little piece of almost every game. I usually had the quad box going for all 4 games
Yep.
that were on at a time, at least picking up a little bit of each one. And yeah, we'll see what happens here in this round of 16.
Yeah. I mean, not a ton of huge upsets necessarily besides say obviously
Nah.
Florida being knocked off by Iowa.
Well, obviously the biggest one we forgot the whole Cinderella Texas, dude. We forgot the
Yeah,
whole Texas
I
game.
was
That's the
yeah,
one.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say yeah, this is the Cinderella as far as the Sweet
yeah,
16 goes
definitely.
that beat Gonzaga which was
Yeah,
surprising,
they
but
were in the play-in game, so they've won 3 games now.
mm-hmm,
Not just 2, they've won 3 games. They won the play-in game, then they won the next 2. So the Texas
yeah,
is obviously for real now. They got their feet wet. They're really ready. They're a Sweet 16 team, and they play in the SEC. It's not like they don't play they play a bunch of cupcakes there all year long, and I think
mm-hmm,
they're ready to go. Obviously,
yeah,
I don't think I'd want to play them if I was in the tournament, but it's gonna be a heck of a match there. So I thought now that me and you, Luke, we'll go over the games. We'll see. We'll pick who we think's gonna win, and
mm-hmm,
we'll go from there, and we'll give a little insight on each one, not in depth too much, but just a little bit of
mm-hmm.
insight that I've accumulated here.
Yeah, got 8 great games here. We were just
Yes,
touching a little bit on that Duke St. John's game. Obviously,
yes,
a huge game. Got Bettino out there, taking St. John's, back to its glory days. As a historic basketball program that's been in disarray for the past decade or two now, and
yes.
came back after everything and has inspired this team and this program to this height. And if they beat Duke here, that's basically a win for St. John's, going that far, and beating Duke in that sense. And obviously Duke number 1 seed there. Your Dukies. I know you're worried about them. Are you gonna pick
Well,
Duke here,
this is
or
the deal.
what do you think?
This is the deal. I'm picking Duke, but I really
Okay,
think St. John's is going to win.
really?
I'm picking Duke just because I'm a Duke homer,
Yeah.
but I think St. John. athleticism and depth will beat Duke. That's my prediction. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm picking Duke still, even though I believe that it's may not. Coach Pitino, I think he's like 73.
Oh yeah.
I think he's the oldest coach left in the tournament. We have like three. I think there's 3 or 4 older coaches left. There's the Houston coach. What's his name? Can't remember his name off the top of my head. There's Tennessee coach Barnes. He's 71. So he definitely Petito's the grizzled veteran, and he's going against the youngest coach left, which is Shire. He's only 38. So this is going to be your grandpa against your grandson here. So this is going to be an interesting game. I'm really interested to see how it's going to pan out. If Duke could hold the tempo, if they could slow the game, they need to slow the game down in order to win this and not get in foul trouble. And Cameron Boozer needs to put up at least 25. So, I don't know if it's going to happen, and I don't know. I just don't know. I'm hoping Duke. I'm thinking that St. John's. That's my pick. What do you think, Luke?
Man, this one's tough. The line right now is -6.5 for Duke for the Blue Devils there. So 6.5 point favorites. It's at Capital One Arena in Washington D.C. there. Obviously
for both teams.
Yeah, close for both teams here. I mean, this is I gotta say the toughest game for me to pick out of this whole Sweet 16. Honestly, I want to pick Duke, but I kind of want to pick St. John's as well. I'm gonna pick St. John's.
Yeah, St. John.
I'm gonna pick St. John's. I think like you said, Duke has just been a little too close for comfort, and if they can't finish the job here, then they're going to slip up against, one of the greatest coaches of all time, and a really talented squad in St. John's there. A number 1 seed against a 5 seed, definitely able to take a loss here 100%. They almost lost to a 16 seed, weren't able to dominate in any of the games that they've been a part of. They won the ACC championship. St. John's
they've won
on
13
in
a row now. Duke's won 13 in a row. Has it all been pretty? No, but
I want Duke to win.
I know.
My pick is going to be St. John's.
I understand. Yes. I understand. And I understand. And I look at it, and I start looking at this stuff. I'm like, gosh, they've won 13 straight. St. John's has won 8 straight. The under-over is 141. They need this as a low-scoring game if Duke wants to win. I mean, you just look at that bracket there, and you see just great. You see, St. John's obviously with Patino. Then you see Izzo down here. With Michigan State, then you got Hurley. You got all these guys have won a national championship.
Yeah,
except for Duke, where Shire has not won one.
And but now, a kind of side note: North Carolina Tar Heels head coach opening, one of the historic college basketball programs, could attract one of these
drawing lots of interest
in the Sweet 16.
Actually, they're talking about possibly Arizona's coach, I've heard. They're talking about Iowa State's coach. Let's see. I think those are the only ones that I saw. Oh, Michigan's coach.
Michigan's coach. Yep.
Coach.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I've heard Donovan used to be Florida's head coach, but now he's in the NBA. Yeah. A few other folks there.
I would hope he would go there. Out of all those coaches, I would want him to go there before any of the other ones. I do not want Michigan's coach going there. That's for sure. And I don't want Arizona's coach going there either. Those two scare me.
Yeah.
But obviously they had to make a change. It was not going well. North Carolina has been irrelevant this year, and nobody hardly even talked about them, especially after Caleb Wilson went down, and then they just pretty much were out. And and unfortunately for North Carolina fans, I see a brighter future for you if you could get one of these top-notch coaches to come in and take things over.
Yeah. Well, how about next game here? Michigan State Spartans against the UConn Huskies here. Real close matchup spread wise.
Yeah.
It's -1.5 for UConn here, number 2 and 3 seeds, at Capital One Arena in Washington D.C. here. What do you think here?
Well, this game is one of those coin flippers for me. Both teams are 7-3 over the last 10 games. The under/over is 134. It's going to be a low scoring, I think, defensive game. Um, Michigan State always does well in the tournament. I have yet to pick this game, as you could tell by me stalling.
So,
I'm going to go with the Big Ten. I'm going to take Michigan State to win this one. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Michigan State as well.
Oh,
Here.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeremy Fears averaging 15 points per game here. So, yeah, I'll go with the Big Ten here. Like you were saying, Big Ten is really dominated this bracket here, and I think they could beat the Huskies, and yeah, Izzo and them Spartans have been on a bit of a tear here, getting hot. So, yeah, coin toss game for sure, but I'll coin toss heads and pick the Spartans.
All right.
Yep. Next here, a Big Ten matchup, a historic matchup. Iowa and Nebraska here in basketball. Nebraska has. I was saying actually on the last podcast, I misspoke. I was saying that they're the only Power 5 team to not win a championship in basketball for whatever reason. It's just a stupid thing. They were the only Power 5 team to not win a tournament game, actually, in NCAA basketball. And so obviously they have now been on this run all the way to the Sweet 16, so they have broken that record. But obviously Nebraska, not a basketball school whatsoever, football school more so there in Nebraska. Iowa here in the Sweet 16, 9 seed and a 4 seed. What do you think here for this Big Ten matchup?
Once again, this spread's like 1.5 on this game. This is a team
1.5 towards the Cornhuskers.
Yes, and they've split this year. Iowa's 1-1.
A lot of corn going on.
1-1. Yeah, a lot of corn chucking.
A lot of corn in this game.
Yeah, but I tell you, to me, I just think Nebraska is going to come out the winner on this one. I like the way Nebraska's pace. They have a good pace to their game, and I just think that they're going to end up beating Iowa in the rubber match. So I'm going to go Nebraska. The under/over is 131. So once again, this will be a low pace kind of game. I don't see going too high. So I'm going to take Nebraska.
Yeah, I would with no hesitation pick Nebraska, but obviously Iowa just beat the number 1 seed Florida in a close matchup, 72-73 there. But after a little bit of hesitation, I will pick the Cornhuskers as well. I'll pick the Cornhuskers. Looking at the Big Ten conference play, Nebraska was 15-5 and Iowa was 10-10 in conference play in the Big Ten there. Like you said, they both split the in-season games, you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though, the Iowa head coach, Ben McCullum, heck of a coach. He's a winner. I mean, this guy in 2026.
Yeah, I saw
round of 16. Yeah, I said this to you. Yeah.
You sent me last year 20 things today.
I sent you quite a few things just to look at. Just sort of interesting little fun facts.
Yeah.
He was with Drake last year. He got into the round of 32. He was 31-3 last year with Drake. And then before that, he was with another team in Division II. I don't even know who they were, to be honest with you. But every year he had them either as a national champion or in the tournament. So this guy knows how to win. He knows how to put a winner out there. If you look at Iowa's team, though, which is sort of uncharacteristic to them, they have a lot of transfer portal kids. He brought a couple kids from
Drake kids. Yeah.
Yeah, he brought 2 Drake kids. And so it's sort of interesting how he has totally changed the whole roster. He's got I know the team now. He was from Northwest Missouri State. before Drake.
Northwest Missouri State is hilarious.
Yes. So he actually has one of his old players from there. He's got 2 from Drake, 1 from Villanova, 1 from Northwest Florida State, and 2 from Wyoming. Have all these 4 players are now the heart and soul of the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Wow.
So it just goes to show you that now with the transfer portal, especially with basketball, when you only need so many players, it's easy to transform your team in a year to make them into something. Obviously in football, you could make them into something too, don't get me wrong, but you need a lot more players in a football team. In a basketball team, you got 8 guys. 8 guys.
Yeah.
And it's changed the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one of the good stories I did was when doing research that I found out a little bit about the coach and Iowa, but it wasn't enough for me to pick him. I'm still going Cornhuskers.
Wow. Yeah. Still going the Cornhuskers as well. We'll see. Big Ten matchup. Love to see it. Another Big Ten team, not both in the Big Ten, but one of the Illini of Illinois, number 3 ranked against the number 2 Houston team here. Let's see what this spread is. It's a late night game at 10:05 tomorrow,
2.5.
Friday. 2.5 is the spread for the Houston Cougars. Beating the Illini. Over under is 139.5. What do you think in this game? Are you gonna pick the high ranked Cougars here, or Illini have a chance?
I actually think the Illini have a chance.
Yeah,
I really do. And I'm gonna pick them.
Wow.
I'm gonna pick them. I do like Houston. Don't get me wrong. I just think for some reason I'm just digging the Big Ten, and I think they're going to be able to pull it out. They have a tough
Big
squad.
10 and the Big 12.
So I'm going to go Illinois.
Gonna go Illinois.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna go the Cougars. I had Houston going pretty far in my bracket here. Looking back, I did have this game predicted exactly correct. Illinois against Houston, and then I had Houston winning, and then Houston going all the way to the Final Four. In this side of the bracket, so I'm gonna stick with that and roll with Houston
need that
on this side. I need that, yeah. That would really help.
Well, I'll tell you one thing about Illinois,
especially if Duke loses.
Yeah, one thing about Illinois I noticed is that they have 5 guys in double figures average. Yeah, 5 of their guys average double figures. Well, Houston only has 3 guys in double figures. I just think that Illinois is going to wear them out a little bit more. I know that Houston plays that special kind of ball, that really tough defense, smothering defense, but I think Illinois is going to be just right up there with them, and I think they're going to squeak it out at the end here. I'm going to go with Illinois, just because of that reason.
Next, over on the other side of the bracket here, we have the number 1 ranked Arizona Wildcats against the Arkansas Razorbacks here at the number 4 seed. Obviously, you got the Arizona Wildcats as 7.5-point favorites. We both picked Arizona to go all the way and win the national title. So you got to pick them here against the Razorbacks, right?
Definitely. You have to. I just think the depth on this team is amazing. They've already beat 3 SEC teams already this year. They have a very, very good preseason non-conference schedule. And I think Arizona will do very well in this game. This game is going to be high scoring. What is the under over? I think it was like 170 something. I forget what it was. It was up there. Arkansas is great. This Cuff kid, their point guard or shooting guard.
A
Cuff. Very,
over
very
under
good.
Is 165.5. So on the definitely higher end of what we've been looking at here.
Yeah. So both teams are
high
scoring in the 80s. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think that this is going to be a really good shootout game. Arkansas is 1-1 against Big 12 teams this year. They do have four guys that score in double figures, while Arizona has 5 guys that score in double figures. So that's why I really like their depth. I think they could, circulate a lot of guys in and out, stay fresh. And the Cubs worried more about his new deals that he's signing rather than he's going to be worried about
what new deals.
He just signed a new deal, new sneaker deal. For a kid in college, signed a new sneaker deal with Reebok, and I don't know the details of how much money he made or whatever, but he just signed it this week. That to me, that's bad. That's bad timing for me. I know, I'm sure the kid doesn't have anything to do with it now, but he should be worrying about playing the game than worrying about what shoe he's wearing. To me, I don't like it. But then again, I don't like all the nil stuff as it is. I mean, but
yeah,
because I'm just old school. But to me, it's just bad timing. So for that reason, I am taking the Arizona Wildcats to win this game.
I gotta take the Wildcats as well. I got them going all the way, so I can't go back on that necessarily right now. But I do think that Arkansas has a great team.
Yeah, they do have a good team.
Coached by Calipari there. I mean, you know, what more could you ask? If it was literally against almost any other team up here, I would probably pick them. But since it's against Arizona and I feel that confident with Arizona there, I'm gonna stick with my gut there.
Both these teams just won their conference championships. You know, Arkansas won theirs and Arizona won theirs. So this is a top notch game here in the Sweet 16. I mean, this could easily be a finals game, you know, so
yeah,
it's going to be a good game.
Yep, it really could. Well, next here we got the SEC against the Big Ten. Like you were saying, you know, biggest upset to make it to the Sweet 16. Obviously here at number 11 ranked Texas Longhorns against the Purdue Boilermakers here. What is the over/under here? 11 against 2. I'm sure Purdue is heavily favored. 7.5 towards the Boilermakers to win.
Yes.
This is being played in San Jose. Over/under is 170 or 147.5. It's being played Friday at 7:10. Eastern.
Yes. I'll tell you, this game was tough for me. I think this is going to be a battle of the bigs. You got Oscar the Grouch, Oscar Clough for Purdue, and then you have Mateus, and I don't even want to pronounce the last name because it's out of this. He's from Lithuania. Starts with a V. Mateus V. Okay, against Oscar the Grouch Clough. This is going to be the difference in the game. Whoever's big man ends up having the best game, I think, is going to win this game. Even though Smith, the point guard for Purdue, he's a great point guard. Hasn't been shooting the ball as well though lately. I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm taking Texas.
Really? No.
I'm going Texas.
No, you just said that.
I did.
I hope they do, so we could have this moment right here, because that would be something.
I think Texas is it.
Texas on a roll, that big of a
roll. They're on a roll right now, and they just looked really, really good to me over the weekend, and I don't know. I like the way that Mateus kid played. I like it. I just think that they're much more athletic than Purdue. I just think they're a more athletic team. And I don't know. I got a feeling. I hope I'm right.
Well, I did have Purdue winning or actually I had Purdue in the Sweet 16. I had Gonzaga beating them. So Texas beat Gonzaga there. You'd think I'd pick Texas maybe, but I'm gonna pick Purdue. I'm gonna pick the Big Ten. Texas run comes to an end. I'll go the opposite there.
I like it,
but I kind of hope Texas wins just for your pick there. That'd be interesting.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, another really exciting game. Another SEC versus Big Ten here. Kind of a common theme, as you can see. Number 1 seed Michigan Wolverines against the Alabama Crimson Tide. We have a line of minus 9.5 towards the Michigan Wolverines. I think that's the steepest line that
It is.
we've seen there. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Over under 172.5, which is also, I think, the highest over under there as well. So predicting a high scoring game at the United Center in Chi-Town, in Chi-City.
Yeah. As much as it pains me to do this, I'm going to have to take Michigan to win. I I have to. I listen. On paper, when you look at this game, listen, Michigan should dominate this game. They've had a great year. They
Yeah.
really have. I mean, they have depth. They got it all. They
Dominated the
got
tournament so
size.
far, yeah.
They got size. They got inside, outside. They got it all. Alabama's going to give them some trouble, though. If I was a betting man, which I'm not, I would take Alabama plus the 9.5 for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely hit that all day. But for this game, I just think Michigan's going to end up having to beat them out at the end. I think with Alabama losing that one guard they lost last week, I think it's going to show up a little bit more here in the Sweet 16 than it did last week.
I am a Michigan fan. I did predict this game exactly right. Just want to say that in the Sweet 16 here in this bracket. Not that it was the hardest thing ever, but I did have Michigan against Alabama in this game, and my gut reaction was that Michigan's not going to make it to the Final Four. They're not going to make it all the way. They have a great team. They have a great coach, great success this season, but they just can't make it all the way for whatever reason. It was just my gut reaction to picking this bracket here. I had Alabama beating them and them falling right here. I'm going to go back on my word and pick Michigan in this one for the purpose of this video here, knowing that my bracket still says Alabama, thinking that that gut reaction maybe was right there. But I don't think Michigan has come to an end right here, possibly against Iowa State if Iowa State can pull it off. And then this next game over here, but
I guess I know who you're picking
Michigan
in the next game.
Yeah, kind of a giveaway there, but I don't know if Michigan can make it all the way to the Final Four. I'd love them to. I think they're either going to lose this game against Alabama or next game against Iowa State. It's going to be one or the other, but I'll go for the purpose of this, them beating Alabama here in this game. I do like that plus 9.5 there. Great spread to bet on, but we'll see. And then last game here, Tennessee, number 6th seed against number 2 seed Cyclones against the Volunteers, and the Cyclones are the favorite by 3.5 points. Over under is 138.5 on the lower side there. What do you think about the Volunteers and the Cyclones here? You got the SEC and the Big 12.
There's something about Iowa State. I've watched them several times this year. They just are a gritty basketball team. I love their coach. He's this big ripped dude. He always wears a polo. He's always busting out of his polo like he's a big stud. And I just love the way they play. I think they could. I think they will easily cover the 3.5 in this game. I can see Iowa State dominating in this game and win by double digits. I'm going with Iowa State for the win.
Yeah, I agree. I have Iowa State initially going all the way to the Final Four and then losing to Arizona in the Final Four, and that's what I'll go with here. A super talented team. They'll go on to play either Alabama or Michigan in that Elite Eight matchup. Is my prediction.
Yeah, Luke, when you look at the Sweet 16, every team on here is either Big Ten,
SEC,
or
SEC, Big 12.
Or Big 12, except for Duke, St. John's, and UConn.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
2 of them are in the Big East, UConn, St. John's, and Duke's in the ACC.
Yeah.
Everything else is dominated up there with SEC, Big 12, and Big 10.
I noticed.
And once again, it's the Power 5 schools.
Yeah.
It's big time. It's coming out this year that there's no Cinderella. Whoever that doesn't belong. They're all here. I think these are all the teams that they were saying at the beginning of the tournament had a chance to win because they eliminated people based upon lots of different variables, and this is what makes sense. It actually does. It actually turned out that way. Doesn't always, because lots of times I didn't think there was as much madness to the first weekend as I would have liked. I was hoping for a little bit more craziness, a little bit more madness. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and we said that though. I was saying I make your predictions thinking that there's not going to be as many upsets as you may think here. Sparing upsets as the first round and second round here, as the NIL has really changed things for a lot of these different teams
for sure.
And the conferences themselves just dominated by those power schools. Even like your Texas and Iowa and Tennessee here, your kind of lower ranked teams within the SEC or Big Ten here are still far above any sort of team that is in any other conference in the league that's at the top there, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you the biggest difference in a lot of these teams. Number one is they play a great non-conference schedule. When I was looking through a lot of the schedules of who these teams played during the year, Arkansas, Arizona, Michigan, all these teams had great non-conference schedules. So they know they need to prepare themselves for the tournament by playing great teams in the non-conference. And the problem is, lots of times these smaller schools, like let's say Drake, they want to play Duke. But, sometimes not necessarily Duke, but some teams are afraid to play these small schools and get an L when they're really good schools, they're really good teams. And they end up they don't want to lose to that team. It's one thing to lose to when you schedule a Duke Arizona and you lose, one of them loses. Oh well, it was it was Duke, of course. Well, of course we lost. Yeah, no big deal. But when you lose,
it only helps you.
When you lose to a Drake or whoever, and that's a nobody. That's some of the problems that some of these smaller schools run into when they're making their non-conference schedules.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that.
Now looking back to the very first round of 64 here, we didn't mention one of the biggest upsets, High Point beating Wisconsin, right. 12th seeded High Point beating 5th Wisconsin there 82-83, but then they lost to Arkansas there. That was a big upset there.
Yeah, that was a huge upset. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. Yeah. Good call. Good call on that one. Sometimes I wasn't thinking about every single one of them.
Yeah, I was just hearing about the university itself and how incredible the university. Have you seen some of these videos and some of the things that people have been talking about? High Point just like
it's in North Carolina, right?
Insane college. Like they invest all of the money back into the campus and the students and the school and everything. Like the dorms look like full luxury apartments. They have better gyms for the regular students than some of these schools on the Sweet 16 here have for their athletes. It was looking insane there. Hats off to High Point, at least getting that first win there, which for any of these teams, as far as Cinderella stories go, unfortunately it's like, you win a game, you maybe you win a play-in game, and then you win in the round of 64, and yay, great. That's your Cinderella story.
Right. Yeah, but Luke, when you look at these teams here, which team, I don't know if you actually looked at anything I sent you, but which team out here has the lowest number of students that go to that school?
Yeah, you did send me this.
Don't look it up now.
Don't look.
I'm calling you out.
It's not Duke. Duke is towards the bottom. There was one other school that I think was below Duke, and I'm going to guess that is St. John's. No,
you got to flip-flop, buddy.
Duke is the lowest?
Yes.
Okay, Duke is the lowest,
has,
and then St. John's is above them.
6,523 students go to Duke.
Wow. I need to go to Duke. I wish I would have went to Duke.
Well,
Jeez,
St.
what a
John's
great
has
university.
15,640.
Wow, Duke is so selective. I
Oh
didn't
yeah,
realize they were that good.
and if you when you look at this, I was surprised.
Mhm.
I was thinking, oh, Michigan, one of the largest schools, they
Yeah,
have to have the most student. They're in the middle of the pack. They're at almost 35,000.
yeah.
While Arizona, I didn't realize 45,000 students they have to go to Arizona. 45,000. That's amazing to me. And the surprise of them all, Purdue with almost 45,000 students also.
Purdue's huge,
Purdue
yeah.
is bigger than Michigan? I had no idea about that whatsoever. I
Yeah.
I would have bet my last dollar that Michigan had more students than Purdue.
Mm,
Sort of crazy. So I've been looking at these little fun facts that are really to make you think about how these teams are sort of made from the student body that they have, and you look at it, you're like, gosh, how do these teams get created? Obviously Duke is more of a private school.
yeah.
It's not a
They're
public
private.
entity school, but so it's like you said, it's interesting how they spend the money for the
Yeah,
students towards their programs
yeah.
to make them the programs that they are.
Out of all these schools, there's only 2 private schools. St. John's is private or they're public?
St. John's, I believe, is private too.
So St. John's and Duke are the only private schools on
They're the only
all
private institutions.
16,
and of
right?
course,
Yeah.
that's why you see that
Yeah.
they have the smallest
Yeah.
enrollment too.
Yep,
Yeah,
that makes sense. Mm.
it does. Yeah. But guess how much it would cost you to go see Duke and St. John's play this weekend? $746.
746.
So that's what the tickets are going for on average. That's for 3 games. So you got 2 games whenever they play, Thursday or Friday, and then they have the 1 game on Saturday or Sunday, whatever that may be. So you're going to see 3 games for about $750. That's what the tickets are going for in Washington D.C.
Mm.
So yeah, of course, it's funny. The East and the South are the highest paying tickets. Well, the West is the cheapest ticket at $519. So,
Hmm.
so if you want to get in your car and drive to Washington, you better come up with $750.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'd love to see the Dukies. But
That'll be fun.
yeah, all right, man.
All right.
It's fun.
Yep. That's it.
We got some knowledge today. I loved it.
Mm-hmm. Got some knowledge for the Sweet 16. We'll be back next week, of course. Talk about the next Final Four. What? Because so Elite Eight is when. So we have the Sweet 16, obviously, coming here Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Eight Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, we'll be back here with the predictions for the Final Four. Then wow, okay,
yeah,
it's quick.
Yep. It does happen fast. So yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, awesome.
And then the week after that, Luke, we're gonna have to take a week off, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be coming back from Vegas on Wednesday, so let's we do the show on Thursday.
Let's go. Or show from Vegas. See.
Yes. No. We walk in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see me peddling at the corner, trying to get a couple quarters to go play a slot machine.
No, you'll be able to get the vibe of the real gamblers there. See who's gonna win.
Well, Final Four, I'll just have landed about an hour and a half, 2 hours before the Final Four games. So that'll be cool.
Great.
I've been in Vegas one other time for the Final Four, and Duke actually won. Against Wisconsin.
Okay.
Duke beat Wisconsin.
Knock on wood.
And so I would love to somehow Duke to make it there again and me be there, and let's get another one, boys.
Let's do it, Dukies. All right. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back next week. See you later.
Later.